sound effects, and he was doing all this countdown music and stuff.
John's also huge in the video game soundtracks. So.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of our little talk show here. For those of you who don't know, me and Steven started a little talk show here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. There'll be little clips on Facebook and Instagram, and then we'll be posting the full videos on YouTube. So make sure to go to YouTube if you're not on YouTube right now and check them out. And today we are talking about...
Today we're talking about all of the services that Wolfe Sound and Music offers. That includes live sound support, stage lighting, our DJ service, and our photo booth, as well as our booking process with our personalized client portal.
That's right. And we're in kind of a sweet location right now. Like the spot, not the specific spot we're in, but we're on the Greenbelt, right by the Greenbelt on the harbor front. And just talk a little about the harbor front first here, just on how or why this spot is so iconic for you and your business.
For sure. Yeah, the Kenora Harborfront has been kind of the backbone of our summers for the past few years. We've always been busy at the White Cap and then other events that happen along the Greenbelt here. We actually did a wedding ceremony probably 5 years ago at Husky the Muskie. Not as popular of a wedding spot anymore, but certainly had a couple there at that time. And so it's just a neat area and absolutely beautiful looking over the bay.
Yeah. And we're gonna kind of kick it off with your live sound here, just because it's such a wide variety of things that you do with live sound. So just kind of talk about that a bit, and I'll have some questions for you after.
Absolutely. So the most common question that I'll get is, what is live sound? Or what is sound reinforcement? And what exactly is this and that I do, and that we do as a company? And so looking at live sound, it has several different applications. So if you're ever at a concert, a conference, a wedding ceremony, and you're hearing sound through speakers and there's microphones involved, and it's audio that's being heard by everybody, that is live sound support or audio reinforcement. Several different names that you can call that. So we call it live sound because most of the scenarios that we're in are very active environments, and typically geared towards music. So if you go see a concert under the White Cap and there's a sound system set up and the musicians are being heard through that sound system, that is something that we provide an all-inclusive service for, where we bring the equipment, we have the technicians, and we provide everything in that regard. And in comparison, a wedding ceremony would have a couple speakers with a microphone, and it's to help everybody hear the bride and groom and the officiant and ensure that everyone is heard clearly. And that is also live sound support. So that is a gist of what exactly it is. And as a company, we cover a wide variety of different types of events, where we're talking about concerts, wedding ceremonies, special, fundraisers, private parties. Most of it's geared towards music or speaking events. Yeah.
And actually, one of the bigger live sound things you do is KBI. But you also do lighting for that too, right?
That's right. So
yeah,
a service that often gets tapped on with our live sound support, especially in the entertainment side of things, is stage lighting. So lighting is a beautiful way to take your event to the next level. Aesthetically pleasing and absolutely eye-catching. It's a great way to build a quality atmosphere. So the live sound support, it's very important to have quality sound, and we provide the best in that. And if you don't have that, people will certainly know that you don't. So having high quality sound, but also a fantastic visual to accompany that sound, they both really enhance each other. So Kenora Bass International is an event that we've been doing sound for a few years, and we're very sorry to hear that due to everything taking place right now, KBI will be coming back strong in 2021, but it will not be happening this summer. So, but yes, we provided stage lighting and live sound support for that past couple of years.
Yeah. And how do you kind of work around the big versatility that we have here? Because like one event that one wedding that I remember very specifically with you was the Mackey's Island one. Mm-hmm. You did live sound and you did DJing for that as well. How do you kind of adapt I know it depends on the environment, but How do you adapt your setup to each individual situation so well? Because like you're going from crazy situations back and forth from
Right.
different locations. So how do you kind of change your
How do we
setup
shift it? Yeah.
for? Yeah.
So going in every into every event, and anytime that someone reaches out to us, and if it's a place that we haven't been to before, we definitely want to come meet with you and have a conversation about your space, where you're setting up. Obviously, we haven't been on this private property on Mackey's Island before, so we took a boat ride over there, and we met with the bride and groom, and we checked out the space and got familiar with the landscape and all the contributing factors. In regards to sound, there's lots of factors that come into play, especially outdoors, and most of it is weather related, which we don't need to dive into because it's too much of a science lesson, but it's or physics rather. And so we'll keep it simple, but there's a lot of contributing factors, and we always engage with the environment and with the people to see what the needs and demands are, and tailor our service accordingly.
Yeah. And actually, one thing I was really impressed with that specific one was you were kind of on a interesting spot for that specific setup. Like you had to like
Yeah, it
weave
was
your
really
cords. You'd like weave your cords along the rock edges to make sure they were hidden. And like I was really impressed with how you managed the situation at where you were. It was
Yeah,
really
and so
impressive
much
to
of it
watch.
too is it sounds good, but it also has to look good, and we
Right.
recognize that with weddings, with our DJ setups as well. Everything's very aesthetically pleasing, and really integrates well into the environment and to the theme of the wedding or any event for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, while we're gonna jump right into DJing here too because it's
Sure.
kind of the same typical thing. So actually, just go ahead and first explain kind of what is involved in your DJ setup and kind of what it is.
Definitely. Yeah, so our DJ service is what I would say an all-inclusive DJ service. We provide the equipment, and all the equipment that is involved is professional sound system, professional DJ lighting. Obviously, wireless microphones are included in that setup for you, for the MC for an event if there is one, a professional DJ to go along with that. And we're very self-sufficient, and we come to the venue, we set up, we do the party, we tear down, and we go. So we're very all-inclusive in that regard, and a very quality package. Of course, there's always add-ons on top of that, but with even just the generic, basic DJ package, we make sure it's extensive and inclusive enough where it has enough features, and it's just jam-packed with enough to keep the party going, and it ensures that you're always getting a fantastic setup. So our DJ service serves a wide variety of events. Do birthday parties, wedding receptions, wedding socials, fundraising events, private backyard parties. There's a whole wide variety of any time you want music and dance lights and a good time. Our DJ service can often be found there. So a wide variety of events with high quality equipment, and it's certainly geared to ensure everybody has a great time, and that we're also a very reliable service at the same time.
Right. And actually, one thing I hear a lot of people say is like, oh, you just plugging in a phone or something and just pumping music over speakers isn't that hard.
Yeah.
But you take it to the whole next level with your thing. Like, kind of how do you make that stand out for your DJ service?
For
Like,
sure.
because lighting is a huge part of it too with your
It is.
lights and stuff. But just kind of explain a little bit about that.
So much of what we do in general, it can often, and with many careers, it can be looked at this way. But it's not so much just a job. It's not the science behind it. Ultimately, what we're doing at the end of the day is an art form in our eyes, and whether it's live sound, there's science behind it, and there's everything else that backs it up. But there's also an artistic component that is super prevalent in all of it, and if it's not there, then it's very noticeable that it isn't. So in regards to the DJ service, it's one thing to plug in an iPod and let it shuffle through a playlist, and people can have a relatively good time. But when you have a trained DJ that is able to, to read the crowd, understand what they're enjoying, what they aren't, and how they can shape the evening, shape the sets, and even shape just from song to song. We're playing the song, and then what is the best suited song that should come next that suits this moment. And I think that's a really huge component of our DJ service that we definitely pride ourselves on. John is fantastic at doing that, and he's been recommended several times by brides and grooms that he knows how to do that extremely well. So that is a huge part of a DJ service, is you have someone dedicated to and contributing to the overall experience of the party.
Yeah. And I can double on that. John is absolutely fantastic at coping to the environment and kind of how the atmosphere is there. Like the one event I was at the Clarion, they started, the audience he was doing it for started playing a game on the dance floor, and he adapted his music to what they were doing, and he did sound effects, and he was doing all this countdown music and stuff. Absolutely. And it really got the audience involved, and they thought it was amazing. Like,
John's
he was
also huge in the video game soundtrack, so it doesn't surprise
yes
me.
Yes yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, anything else before we move on to the next thing about your DJ that we kind of missed on or didn't touch on?
I think the key is with DJing, it's easy to see that there's lots out there, but you need to, we always need to bring things into perspective and understand what exactly you're getting when you're looking for a DJ service. And so it's very important to ask very specific questions. When you want to speak with us, we always share with you that we want the best for your wedding day, and or any event for that matter, but especially regarding weddings, which is a majority of what our DJ service is a part of. We want to ensure that you're getting the best for your wedding day, and it's something that's smooth, seamless, and certainly something that is memorable in the right ways. And we always want the best for our clients.
Right. And okay, before we move on to the next thing, I'm just reminding you guys, please, oh please, leave comments down below wherever you're watching this.
Yes, that would be
and
amazing.
ask Steve some questions. If you have some questions for him, please answer them. We did not get enough questions asked last time, so please get the questions rolling in, and we'll be sure to answer them on future episodes. Just throwing that out there.
Absolutely.
And okay, so moving back to the DJing thing, there's something new that you just added, not necessarily to your DJing setup, but like your wedding events and events in general.
Goes hand in hand with the DJ.
Yeah,
service.
is your photo booth.
That's right.
So just kind of talk about your photo booth a bit and just kind of briefly explain what all that is.
For sure. So in February of this year, 2020, we launched our photo booth service. It is an inflatable photo booth, so it's an 8x8 room, cube essentially. Video can be found all over our Facebook and Instagram pages and social media. And so it's an 8x8 inflatable cube. It has LED lighting integrated inside, so we can program the lighting to match the theme of your event, or the lighting can dance and really add to the party atmosphere. The photo booth itself, it's automated in the sense that you grab your props, walk on in, tap the screen, and it walks you through the full process, snaps a few photos of you and your friends, and it sends it to the printer, and you grab your prints on the way out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was one of the people who helped you kind of test that out, and it works absolutely flawlessly.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant the way you have it set up. And like even my brother, like back at his wedding, if we had something like the photo booth at his wedding, I am 100% positive he would have had something like that there. Definitely. Like, it's such a cool addition to any kind of party or whatever. It's just something really cool and neat to have.
Everyone, we get to go to parties and we get to be involved in the events, but at the end of the day, you want to take something home with you. You want something to capture those memories that you're making that night with your friends, and it's something that you can look back on. And that's a really one of the main reasons why we got into the photo booth, was wanting to provide a service, firstly, that hasn't been seen in Kenora by a local company, and we wanted to fill that void. And we wanted to make sure that you're getting that professional and personalized service in a way that you can take home a memory with you of the night that you've spent at the event, or the day, or whatever time of day it is, but typically at night. So it's just a fantastic way to capture memories.
So you mentioned props. So for props wise, like what's your versatility and what all do you have in that?
Funny you mentioned props, because we got a ton of them. We have props for every single occasion, theme. We have so many props, probably way more than we should. We just got buckets of them. So, but if you have an event and you have a specific theme and we don't have the props that match that theme, we'll get them no problem at no additional cost. It's just part of us expanding our repertoire of props. We already have so many, and that's just a fun way to really interact with the theme and with the people, and something that contributes to the overall atmosphere and vibe of your event.
Yeah, perfect. And last but not least, I want to touch on one more thing, and that is you recently released an application. It's available on iOS and Android. So just kind of talk a bit about that, Steve, and just kind of what's that about.
Absolutely. So we decided to launch our client portal at the end of last year in preparation for the 2020 wedding season. And so the big focus with this was just to provide an easy way for brides and grooms to share their information with us about their wedding day. We know that planning events are hectic and busy and stressful times for so many, especially on the wedding side of things. So this client portal is available on the Apple App Store and Google Play, and can also be accessed through our website by clicking on client portal. So on any browser you can also access it. You don't have to have the app. We really saw this client portal as being a way to keep everything in one place and certainly make it a lot easier for anyone who's booking our services.
Yeah, and I know from firsthand that it's super easy. That the format you have set up on there is super simple. It's very easy to do, and you did a very good job in designing the app. So very good job there. Very good job.
Yeah, and something with the client portal, the process is that will be set up for our clients as soon as we've received the contract and deposit for our services. We'll get you set up with the client portal, as well as kind of a step-by-step of all of what's included and how to use the platform. It's like Brandon said, it's very simple. We've designed it that way to keep it easy and very intuitive and user-friendly.
Yeah. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Again, if you have any questions for Steven or for Wolfe Sound & Music, like the business in general, please leave them down below, and we'll be sure to answer them on a future episode.
Yes, please share your questions. We definitely love to hear from you. Let us know what you're up to during this quarantine, and we're here making videos for you. And please let us know if you have any questions, and we'd love to hear them and answer them, and we will talk to you soon.